Hey guys, it's here bringing you another video. Now, welcome to a Riot dev vlog video or dev blog video. We always do these from now on. I never used to do them years ago, but partially because Riot didn't really do stuff like this years ago. And since they started doing them, I started making videos on them. And you guys seem to really like when I talk about the updates and what Riot is kind of saying themselves. Obviously, it goes without saying, I love doing these videos. I've got a game dev background, so I really I love the world of game design and like the intricacies of like what is behind an actual video game, not just like the coding and all that. Like this, we're talking about behavior systems. This isn't directly in the game, it's a side effect of the game, and I think that is just as important. So if you guys like these videos, please do throw a like on the video and leave your comment down below of what you think, you know, the topics that we talk about today. So all I'll say is I'll have a little chat first about what do I think of the topic before we begin actually talking about it. So it is dev making behavioral system matters more. So yeah, so we're shifting our approach to directly impact your experience and strengthen our community. So what do I feel about like the behavioral systems in League, punishment systems to toxicity or trolling? I do feel the punishment systems are incredibly weak, as in I don't really think they work. I do every now and then get a behavioral like update, you know, those things that pop up on your client, but the amount of actual toxicity or inting or trolling I actually come across in the game is astronomically more than I ever will receive feedback on. And obviously, I will mention this in, you know, very briefly, and I know it's a delicate area to talk about, but I obviously am a League partner. And one of the advantages, if you will, of a League partner is we do get, and I don't think like Riot want us to actively talk about it, but I'm going to because that's part of this conversation, is we get access to the support team with a support team within Riot directly. And we have a direct communication with a support team that if someone is toxic or trolling, like legitimately, it can't just be for a nothing report. I know some League partners in the past, it's been very public that they've tried to abuse that system before. You can't abuse it. You get kicked out of the League partner program, or, you know, you'll have a conversation with Riot that they basically tell you stop doing that type of thing. But we can directly report things to Riot. So if let's say there's an inter in one of my games, which in modern day League is quite regular, unfortunately, and that is where I do think their behavior systems don't work very well, because I have no faith that the system will pick up an actual inter. So I can do a League partner report to a Rioter. They will see that report. It's guaranteed that they'll see that report, but then it's up to Riot to determine if that's a report or not. But that's the thing. It's determined. It's for a human in Riot to decide. And very often, I'd imagine that person will end up getting punished. It is worth knowing the latest inter that I reported through the League partner report didn't get banned. Like people have said in my comment section, we were playing, I think I was playing a Nivea, and there was a Nami in one of my games and was a genuine inter. You know, it wasn't even a question. Genuine inter. I uploaded the video. You can go back and watch it. Obviously, a League partner reported it, and people kept saying to me, Huz, I'm looking at that person's history. They're still playing. They're not banned. So the League partner report isn't a guarantee. You know, that's the point that I want to make very clear. It's not a guarantee to get someone banned. Like if a League partner ever acts cocky on stream going like, that person's banned, it's just false. It's the Riot's decision of that situation. But what is to be said is League partner reports, in my opinion, they kind of need to exist right now, but only because how bad the actual systems are. If the systems are competent and they did their job, the League partner reports would never have to exist. It would detect that person's inting, boom, have a punishment. That person's toxic, boom, have a punishment. The systems are that incompetent that something like a League partner report, in my opinion, isn't a bad thing. I don't think anybody, unless you're a toxic individual or an inter or a troll, nobody should be against League partner reports in that manner, because it's more likely that a troll or an inter or a toxic person, it's more likely that they're going to actually receive a punishment because a human at Riot is looking at it, not an automated system. So that's what I would open with, is that is just one side to the coin. I don't have much faith in the behavior systems right now, and I don't really know what they've been doing for the last couple of years, because we've heard this type of thing for many years going, we've heard you, toxicity, we're going to do something about it, and then nothing happens. So let's have a read together, but I just wanted to open that because I know if I don't mention league partner reports or that type of nature, some people in the comments will mention it of going, what do you think of like league partner reports with this? So that's my thing. I don't think they should have to exist, but right now they do because of how bad the automated system is. Okay, so Tim Tam Monster here, your new product lead for behavioral systems. Let's get right to it. I know many of you have been disappointed in the lack of progress made in the behavioral systems over the last few years. You've told us again and again that this space is important, and I'm with you. That's why I'm here to share some updates kicking off Riot's new approach to this space in 2022. Legitimately, something's happened within Riot. Like, there has to be, because this guy is new. Your new product lead for behavior systems in League of Legends. We have got Riot Axes, who's the new lead or whatever it is. Like, he's new. And every single one of these new leads, if you actually kind of have been paying attention to these dev things, they're all making changes to their game. They're all like actively, let's do something about it. You know, Riot Axes comes in and goes, I'm launching an investigation in damage. Is the damage too high? And yes, it looks likely. I'm launching an investigation into healing. It looks too high. And guess what? Next patch is a big healing nerf. Then we have this guy who's new to behavior. Let's do something about it. Something's happened within Riot. I'm going to just put a wild guess out there. I've got nothing to back this up. I did hear through the grapevine over the last couple of years, Riot has been losing players within League of Legends. And let's be honest, they've not really done a lot. There's not been a lot of good stuff within League in the last couple of years. The new items, I think overall, were pretty bad. We've had to accept them. We've had to move on. But a lot of people didn't like them. The damage in the game has spiked to the point that it is kind of crazy. Again, healing is also insane. But again, all these points they are looking to fix. But they're fixing it now, not then. So maybe something in Riot happened that they're like, we need to do something here. The game is going a bit yeah. And now here's the crazy thing. They are doing something about it. They're employing or they're changing the leads of all these departments. And now this is a good thing because maybe the people that were in charge thought everything was fine. So this is good. Shifting focus to the 95%. Over the last couple of years, we've largely focused on behind-the-scenes upgrades to our detection and punishment systems to improve your experience. And we know that this isn't making enough of an impact. The data shows that only 5% of players are consistently disruptive. So they are the really toxic people, the inters in a lot of games. If it just like slightly goes bad for them, they will int. These are the people that get banned and then make more accounts. That's 5% of the player base. These are players that we should definitely should be punishing, and we will always continue improving our systems for that. But the other 95% are regular players who get tilted every once in a while, and these players make up 86% of our reports. In other words, almost all reports on the average player who usually behaves well. What I'd say to that, if that is an excuse for Riot to basically go, oh, that inter that you did have in your game, that's why they're not banned. It's they're not banned or they're not punished at all because they just got tilted. They're normally fine. I'm not completely okay with that, because guess who has never inted in a match of League of Legends before? Me. I've never inted in a game. Genuinely never intentionally fed. I've genuinely never intentionally trolled my team. And I'd hope that is the standard. And if I ever did int, I would want, like, I know it sounds weird, but me now would want future me, if I ever did int, to get punished. Because that's the point. That should not be okay in any context. It shouldn't. So to me, if that is right, having a bit of an excuse kind of going, yeah, they just got tilted, don't worry about it, it's the 5% we've got to focus on. They're the bad eggs. No, like, still inting in one game is still ruining a match of League of Legends for a bunch of people. And there's a lot of people in League that only can play one game a day. Imagine that if that's your one game a day and you have an inter, it's going to make you feel even worse. It's let alone bad for me if I get one inter. I play on average, I think, about 6 games when I have a ranked session, and I play like 4 to 5 times a week. So it's not as bad for me, and it still feels pretty bad. So we've all been there. League is a competitive game, but when each game has 9 other players, if everyone is occasionally disruptive, you'll probably run into these behaviors often. And whenever you run into someone being disruptive, it doesn't matter to you if they behave well most of the time. Their behavior in that moment still ruins your game, and that's what matters. Okay, again, I'll say I've not read this ahead of this, but that's literally what I just said. So how do we improve the behavior of 95% players as a whole? Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so that's the approach that they're taking. Riot is basically going, we've only really focused on maybe that 5% of the actual proper inters, trolls, and all of that, but 95% of the people that get reported are just doing it occasionally, but they've been treating that at the moment as kind of okay. Maybe they're not going to treat it as kind of okay now. If you are someone that is okay most of the time, but you do maybe now you'll actually get a punishment. This is good news. So how do we improve the behavior of 95% of players as a whole? That's a tough question, but we believe it's by building solutions that directly impact you and by partnering with you, our players, to create a stronger community together. That line doesn't give me much faith. There's no community really within League of Legends. It's individual communities. That's the point. League as a whole isn't a community. It's too toxic. I know that's probably going to sound a relatively defeatist in what Riot are trying to do here. It's too late. The culture of League of Legends, unfortunately, is inherently toxic, and I don't think that's ever going to change. You can have positive communities within League, but I don't think you're going to change the atmosphere of League of Legends ever. So we'll see how it goes. Reinforcing positive play. Behavioral systems shouldn't be about punishing bad players. Shouldn't just be about punishing bad players. It should also reward great ones. When we first released Honor 2.0 in 2018, it was the first reward system of its kind, and we saw an incredible response from you all. Not sure about that, but okay. But we failed to update it over the past few years, and it's fallen short of expectations. Yeah, no one really cares about Honor. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't do anything really to affect you, and the reward at the end of it is a Twitch and a Warwick skin. Yay. This year we're upping... Oh, here we go. This year we're upping the rewards with a new special recall VFX for players who are Honor 5 or received an Honor from either a non-pre-made or 2 pre-mades in their last game. What? How's that okay? Every pre-made is going to Honor... Okay, whatever. Similar to the special Challenger recall, you'll now have the opportunity to sport a special new Honor recall. Okay. What else did I hear you ask? Riot would never dedicate a specific new skin just for Honor. Oh wait, that's exactly what we're doing. We're working hard on an exclusive skin just for players who reach Honor 5 as part of the end of season rewards. These exclusive rewards will give you a new way to show off in-game, in addition to existing Honor skins, chromas, and other awards. So now, now's the time to get your Honor on. Stay tuned for more details. I'm not obviously opposed to this. It's not a bad thing, because in the grand scheme of things, a lot of people say Honor doesn't mean that you're nice, and it doesn't. But what Honor means is, on average, you're not inherently bad. You know, because just reminding people, if you get, I think, any practical form of punishment, your honor gets reset. So even if you're like Honor 4 and then you start having like a really toxic week, you interview times, you be toxic in the chat, and you do get banned for a day or two, your Honor will, I believe, reset, and then you won't get Honor 5 by the end of the season. So, and potentially even if you get like reset, it might even get locked by the end of the season or something. So yeah, I'm not opposed to this. What I would say though, I'm not completely clear, is the recall. So, you know, this to me is a bit weird, right? So it looks like you get a really cool new recall if you're on a level 5. So that's cool. You've reached on a level 5, which takes a while to get, and you can't be inherently toxic, otherwise it will get reset. Or you just received an Honor from a non-pre-made, so just get honored last game, or 2 of your friends honor you in a normal game. I don't think they should be the same. Like, maybe there should be 2 different recalls. The actual, like, Honor level 5 recall, and the kind of lesser one, but the one that you get honored from other people, maybe? I don't think they should be together, because that does, again, that's undermining the reward of being Honor level 5. And that's exactly what they shouldn't be doing. I do like the idea of exclusive skin. People have actually suggested that for a couple of years, so I'm completely fine with that. So yeah, that will be cool. I just hope, honestly, like, people have said it should be something like, I remember, vaguely I remember an idea years ago. Like, think of, like, I know this might sound a bit weird, but if you think of like the way that law is, what do they call judges? They call them the honorable judge, the honorable whoever. So you could do a skin line called the honorable and kind of make them look like a judge. The first one could be Poppy because she's got the hammer that can be like the whatever that hammer's called in a courtroom. Could be kind of funny. I don't know. Maybe that's an interesting play on it. Not sure. But anyway, taking action on Champ Select reports. So Champ Select reports, I'm happy that they got implemented, but they've literally basically done nothing. And I think a lot of people don't even bother with them because they know they do nothing. Because like what Riot, I would think, you know, what Riot shouldn't have done, 100% by the way, is tell the community that, oh, champion select reports are here, but they're not going to do any punishment. They shouldn't have said that. Like, why would you tell the people who are actively looking to troll or steal a role from somebody? They know the champ select reports are not going to do anything. So if they do that, if they try to steal a role from somebody and then they play the game completely normal, so they steal a role from somebody, then they don't type one word in game, they'll never get banned. Like, they just won't. Because the report that suits that player, that is for that player, isn't actively getting them punished. What I'd also say as well, just to, I kind of remembered or didn't say at the time, just to mention, I do, by the way, stress, I do know this area is really hard for Riot somewhat to talk about because behind the scenes is important to somewhat do. Just to make it clear, if you tell the player base exactly what you're doing and hey, here's the parameters of what will get you banned, the people who are inherently toxic, the people who are trolls or whatever, you don't want to specifically tell them what will get somebody banned because they'll skirt that line. You know, that's the point. If they don't know where that line is, then you'd hope they just wouldn't do it. It's the exact same like in Call of Duty. The amount of aimbots and everything in Warzone is still rampantly apparent because they do have, but they have to keep quiet about it, right? They did this big update called, what was it called? It was the Vanguard update, Ricochet, I think. And they never went into specifics. They were like, it's a kernel-based anti-cheat system, the end. Because if you went into specifics, all the cheat makers would be like, well, we know how to circumvent it now. Obviously, by the way, they have kind of circumvented it, but like it goes without saying, you have to be careful with telling exactly what you want to do in this type of report system, because the people that are looking to make the game bad will then exactly know how to go around it. So you do have to be careful with that. So another area we lost some of your confidence in is Champ Select reporting. Although we have been monitoring these reports, we didn't add punishments for them accordingly as promised. What? They never... Oh, God. They never turned it on. I do think they actually did turn it on, but apparently they didn't. Champ Select reports only make up for 3.2% of reports today. But we know that your experience in every part of the game still matters. I'm happy to share that we are tying punishments to Champ Select reports. And you'll see an update on that in a patch coming very soon. So finally they are turning on punishments for Champ Select reports. It's mad that I don't know how long it's been. It's been at least over 6 months, I'd want to say. Maybe even a year, I don't know, since they had Champ Select reports, and they still have not been giving punishments. People could still right now be stealing people's roles in Champ Select and not getting punished. Like, that's mad. Anyway, next one is targeting widespread behaviors. Another area we're focusing on that we know affects the majority of players is verbal abuse. There are a number of exciting projects we're planning, including an upgrade to our more advanced models to increase verbal abuse detections. We expect to see improvements in this area by up to 10 times. Just to make it clear, something that Riot, and not just Riot, every game company do, they use language like that to make everything seem better. Like up here, they use, like, especially, you know, anything in bold is something that Riot's trying to make very clear. But like some of it's really vague, and some of it they try to skew the data a bit. That's quite common. But just to make it point, by up to 10 times, Riot legitimately could basically mean up to, officially, it could be up to 1.2 times better. It could be 1% better. But that broad statement, by up to 10 times better, that's still true because it's by up to 10 times. It might only be 1 times better. It might only be 2 times better, but you can say up to 10. you could say up to 100 times better. That it would still be true. Like, that's one thing I would say I wish Riot didn't do, because yeah, it does somewhat, to me, that actually takes away from what Riot is saying right now. But anyway, while verbal abuse isn't directly reflected in game stats like KDA, it is as a widespread issue, Jesus, that often leads to other disruptive behaviors. Yeah, usually someone who's toxic, well, it's really two things. Either someone that's toxic, like verbal abuse, is the inter, so they could be going 0-10 and they're being toxic, so that's what I call the double whammy. It's the really bad player who's inting that's also toxic, or someone who's toxic to a player that might be on the borderline of tilting, it then will tilt that player, and that's when that player's behavior goes bad also, because they're getting verbally abused. That's the thing. There's all of that situation matters. While these are just a few steps towards a larger goal, Riot is truly committed to this space, and I will ensure we will continue to prioritize it. You can hold me to that. Well, we'll see. In turn, I ask you to remember this. When you get frustrated, only you can stop yourself from being disruptive. All 95% of us can support these systems by being the type of player we want to play with, even in ranked. It's not always easy, I know, but even the most perfect systems can't prevent all instances of bad behavior from occurring, because it's not just about building systems to influence human behavior, it's also about the humans who play the game. It's about you, and you're here reading this, so I know you care about our community too. With your feedback and support, we can shape League's future together. I'm honored to be embarking on this journey together with you. What I would say, I would love a conversation with this guy if it's ever possible. Oh wait, she, sorry, was it she? Tim Tam Monster is product lead of behavior systems and team. She just wants everyone to get along. And he cookies. I apologize. I didn't know it was a she. I guess Tim Tams. Tim is a guy's name, but Tim Tams is a reference to the Australian chocolate sweet thing. Oh, fair enough. I'd love a conversation with her if possible. I don't know if any of the dev team are listening. I obviously know as a League partner I can reach out via my partner manager. Maybe I'll do that. Because like this does intrigue me, and this is a relatively. It's a relatively broad and vague article, but basically just saying, hey, we know it's been pretty bad. We know we've not really done anything for a couple of years. We're promising we're going to start doing something. So it's not a negative overall. I'm pretty happy that Riot's even talking about it. That sometimes it sounds weird, but it's just a nice thing that, oh, Riot's actually talking about behavior problems. Cool. Because as I mentioned, I think at the beginning of this, I don't really see verbal toxicity anymore in League. Like I see it occasionally, but it's not in-game. I see it potentially in Champ Select, which, you know, I do. And I also see it in the end game lobby. I can't see it in game because I've turned chat off. But I will say, it's not really mentioned here, I am seeing a lot of inting, like intentionally feeding. I am arguably seeing more intentionally feeding now than I probably ever have in League. And again, it's not just people having bad games. I'm in Diamond 2, again, like I said, there's the top 0.6% of the game. People you can very much clearly tell when someone's having a bad game or someone who is intentionally dying. Like someone who is playing a mid lane mage who's just running to bot lane over and over again, and oh damn, they died to the enemy top laner again, and they spawn, and guess where they go? Oh, they went top lane or bot lane, whatever, and they died again solo, and again, and again, and again. They may be using their spells, they might not be buying troll items, but that's inting. That's the point. So yeah, maybe that would be nice if Riot did say something a bit in that area, but obviously they didn't. But let me know what you think of it. Again, it's not a negative. It's a good thing that Riot's, you know, talking about it. Let me know what your biggest area of concern is with toxicity or behavioral systems in League right now. And who knows, you know, there might be a Rioter watching this video. You never know. But yeah, let me know what you think down below. And hopefully things will get better. I am very happy. I will say that if, crazy enough, if again, Champ Select reports have basically meant nothing, I am happy that they are turning those on, because I am seeing toxicity in Champ Select. I am seeing, you know, I am also seeing toxicity in the end lobby too. So that will be a good thing if they do turn that on. But anyway, that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy this dev talk, do throw a like on the video, comment down below what you think, and please do subscribe and ding the bell, does help out. But yeah, throw a like on it, do all that stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our glory to live forever. dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal